Hi, I'm Sherry McGrail of the McGrail team. Today I want to talk about staging and the preparation of your home for sale. As a realtor, when I show buyers homes, there is behavior that I've noticed. When people walk into a home that has lots of photographs, lots of personal items, very specific taste that the home has been decorated in, I've noticed that there's a little bit of discomfort. People feel perhaps that they're invading someone's personal space, and that causes them to kind of rush through the house and not really look carefully. And of course, that's not what a seller wants to convey. And in addition to that, part of that whole personal feeling is photographs. We've all heard, take down your family pictures. Well, there's a reason for that. When there are a lot of photographs to be seen, it does stop people in their tracks. Human beings have been hardwired to look at faces from the time we're born. And so when there's a lot to look at, people do tend to stop and look at that, and they notice resemblances from one family member to another. Maybe somebody in your family looks like their cousin George, who knows? But in the end, they forget your house and remember your family. So that's the reason we ask to neutralize your home. We want to create an environment where we're showing a buyer a home, not your home, so that they walk in, feel comfortable, and can begin visualizing themselves living there. And then maybe that'll result in a nice, hefty offer for your house.
In a perfect real estate world, every house would be staged before putting them on the market for sale. When a home is vacant, staging is always recommended. This particular house was put on the market at the beginning of a very challenged real estate market, and it happens to be at the high end price-wise in this community. But it went into pending status pretty quickly, which I believe is largely attributable to the presentation of this beautiful home. This home is an example of one in which there were some very taste-specific choices made in the past, such as wallpaper, wood trim that had been added in unusual places, and so on. The goal was to bring the house back to a neutral look that was both up-to-date and with general appeal that would make it possible for almost any buyer to imagine themselves in the home. After removing wallpaper, etc., we had the walls painted. The paint is a light neutral tone that lends itself to almost any future decor. We also had the baseboards and doors repainted. That doesn't add much to the cost, but does add true refreshment to the house. While we were at it, we had a few of the light fixtures changed out as well, at a modest cost. At this point, the homeowner was willing to spend a bit more to finish the preparation project. A professional stager was hired to bring in furnishings and all of the necessary decorative items needed to make the home feel like a place one would want to live. She did not over-furnish. That is, the idea is to leave empty spaces where a potential buyer can visualize themselves having enough room to bring in their own extras. Additionally, the stager has the expertise to place items appropriately in order to draw one's eye to key points about the house and help the potential buyer notice otherwise unnoticed points of interest. On the patio, which in this case is quite large, the furnishings are modest, again allowing the potential buyer to imagine their own huge dining set out there. This home happens to have a beautiful view too. That is not enough to maximize the sale price. I firmly believe the sale price of this home would have been considerably lower if it had been totally empty and uninviting when presented for sale. Sometimes when a home is being vacated, there can be the luxury of leaving a few key pieces of furniture in place to be part of staging. In this home, we were able to keep the kitchen and dining room tables, as well as a large chair in the living room and the beds. Sometimes people, that is buyers, when they come in, need to have a reference point, something to confirm that, for example, their king-size bed will actually fit in this room. Again, after repainting the walls in a light neutral tone, a professional stager was invited to add the finishing touches. She brought in a few small items of furniture plus the decorating pieces to complete the picture. It doesn't take much imagination beyond that for a potential buyer to imagine living there. The additional touches beyond basic furnishings add cheer and life to the home. Pieces are placed to help guide the potential buyer's eye to far-reaching corners of each room. I predict this home will be in pending status soon. Again, in a perfect real estate world, every vacant home would be fully professionally staged, but circumstances vary always. This particular home is beautiful, and when it first came to market was photographed with the homeowner's furnishings and artful touches. Circumstances changed for the sellers and they moved to their new home sooner rather than later. So now, though the home is totally vacant, I decided to bring in just a few items to bring a little color and life into empty spaces. I believe this will help potential buyers feel the warmth of moving into the home themselves.